Hi everyone. So I have read a few books recently that I really wanted to share with all of you. So I'm just going to go through and talk about a few I have read that I have really liked. So the first one that I read was The Horsewoman by James Patterson, and I'll just kind of read what it says in the inside cover about what it's about. So Maggie Atwood and Becky McCabe, mother and daughter, both champion riders, vowed to never ever go up against one another until the tense, harrowing competitions lead to the Paris Olympics. Mother and daughter share a dream to be the best horsewoman in the world. Coronado is Maggie's horse, an absolute top tier Belgian warm blood. Sky is Becky's horse, a small, speedy Dutch warm blood. So, if you are really into horses like me, I think you would really enjoy this book. And even if you didn't, I think this is a really, really good book. Like, one, James Patterson, in my opinion, is a really amazing author. And I just really, it's like really interesting. It like keeps you on your toes. And I just find it really interesting. It really like keys into the life of what like a horsewoman would be like. And this one, they focus on jumping, so that's like their main aspect of what they train in. They do horse jumping, so it's just really cool to see because it feels like you're really with them throughout the process. And so originally it was just going to be Maggie competing, because you find this out like in the first page of the book, so this isn't really a big spoiler, but her mom gets injured, so she doesn't think she'll be able to compete in the Olympics. But then she pushes herself and heals pretty quickly, and then decides, okay, I actually want to compete in the Olympics and try this again. And it comes with all this drama between the mother and daughter and with the horses they have. And I don't want to say too much more, but I highly recommend this book. I think it is really good, especially for my horse lovers out there. I think you would really like it. The next book I read is called Daughter Undisclosed, and it's by Susan K. Flaw. And she is actually one of my family members. And I am not just raving about this book because I'm related to her, but she does an amazing job. She's a really great author, and if you haven't read her Song and a Seashell series, it's a 3-book series. They are so good. They are amazing. I read through them so fast. So yeah, I highly recommend this. So this is what this one says. In the future, all will be equal. No variation of skin color, no difference in gender, no discrepancy of ideals, except for Solar Kalahan. She is a girl, and for this she will die. What Tarek knows. Solar Khan defines attractive. Solar Khan is really a girl. Solar Khan must be turned in. It's the law. I pledge allegiance to the FAED. 16-year-old Solar is born into a society where she is not allowed. After meeting Tarek, who discovers her truth, Solar realizes it won't be long before she's turned into the authorities by Tarek. Now she's scared, and it hurts because she's never felt this strongly about anyone before. So this one's a little bit different than the other books she has written, but it's really good. It has a really cool concept, and it's a real page turner. Like, I read this one pretty fast, and it's, yeah, like I said, it's got a really interesting concept. So basically, like, everyone in the society is supposed to be born gender neutral, and so there's no like indifference. But Solar was actually born a girl. Like, she didn't get the gender neutral gene. And then something big is revealed about Tarek later on, which I don't want to say because it's a spoiler. But so it's just kind of about their lives like coming together, and then they kind of like disconnect because she's worried, because this is a big secret, and if she was found out to be truly a girl, she would be killed, because everyone in the society has to be equal. So it's kind of about their journey, and they're trying to escape this FAED society because it's just kind of going downhill. So yeah, it's a really, like I said, I feel like it's a really unique concept, and it's a really good book. So highly recommend this one. Lastly, I read When Ships Salute. So this is also by Susan K. Flaw. And when I talk, I know I've said all of them are a page turner and really good books, but this one I read in like less than 24 hours, if that tells you anything. So this is what this one's about. Of one thing Ella Hurley is certain, there's no one she dislikes more than B.J. Merrick from back in the day, except maybe herself. The startup of World War II brought squadrons of soldiers flooding the northern border town of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, in order to protect the lots. With war came certain hardships, but adversity had already been known to the Hurley family long before the onset of widespread battle. To drown out reminders of the past, Ella Hurley focuses on her work as a nurse at War Memorial Hospital. But when a soldier arrives in town and falls under her care after sustaining injuries during the devastation of Pearl Harbor, the past gets dug up and tangled up. While Ella finds herself crossing lines that weren't meant to be stepped over, caregiver to patient, the patient who is not really who he seems. So if me not reading that didn't get you interested, like, this was a really good book. I like how it like centered around kind of Ella, and she's like a nurse, and it kind of gives you a sense of what it was like to be a nurse when back when there was the war, and you know, soldiers were flooding in, and it's obviously crazy. So Ella has had a pretty hard life. Now, I mean, being a nurse is not easy, one. And two, her family has gone through a lot of hardships. Like, her brother passed away and her dad became an alcoholic due to that. So she has gone through a lot, as you can see. And then she gets this patient, so she's assigned like a list of patients every day. Usually they're pretty consistent, but she ends up kind of like being attracted to this BJ Merrick, but then she finds out that they have a history together, and she didn't realize who he was at first because of all his injuries. And I won't go into too much detail there because you find that out kind of later in the book, so I don't want to spoil anything, but it's really good. These are the 3 books I'm going to talk about today. I hope I gave you some good book recommendations. I totally recommend that you go out and read these. And yeah, these are just for adult fiction books. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! So just a little side note, don't mind my Valentine's Day nails. I have had these on since before Valentine's Day, and they are still in really good condition. Like, they're the Dashing Diva nail strips, and they're really thick, so they're a little bit hard to get on, but they last a really long time. So I totally recommend, if you haven't tried Dashing Diva nail strips, that you try them out.